Good evening, everyone, and welcome to RPG Limit. Alongside Rye Guy 3745, I'm FearonBurgundy, and we have a heck of a night here for you as we've got the battle of the remaining 4-0s. There's only, there is one who moved on to 5-0, and we will have the other one here. And in a very interesting way here in the 2019 Dragon Warrior Randomizer Tournament.
Oh man, only two 4-0s left? Who is the sucker that lost at 4-0? Who would do such a thing?
I know not of what you speak, Rye Guy.
Yes, well anyway, we have two good 4-0 players, unlike some people here. Highspirits and MisterHomes, who pretty much need no introduction. They're two of the probably most well-known runners this game, and probably two of the some of the most active members in this community. So definitely two very familiar runners here, but something that's not so familiar, you'll notice down on our tracker, you don't see any numbers, and they won't either. They're playing something called Challenge Level 5, where every single number has been deleted or is just not shown on the screen. So you'll see absolutely no numbers. Our runners are going to have a heck of a time trying to figure out what exactly is going on. There are some visual cues that we'll mention in a bit, but they're going to have to use a lot of sort of guesswork and experimentation to figure out where exactly they're at.
Now, as far as what they would normally do otherwise and are going to attempt to do sans numbers, is they are looking to find and defeat the evil Dragon Lord, and they'll need to collect certain key items to trade in for the Rainbow Drop, which will allow our runners to enter Charlotte Castle, home of the Dragon Lord. They'll also be fighting enemies one at a time to gain experience and levels to get stronger, as well as gold to purchase weapons, armor, and items to help in their quest, though they won't know what those numbers are. That's what's going to make it interesting. So, along with that added twist, what else is randomized here in Dragon Warrior Randomizer? Well, the overworld map, the treasure chests and search spot contents, the locations of the towns and caves, the contents of the weapon and armor shops, the enemy locations, enemy spells and abilities, the order in which they learn their spells, and a whole bunch more. But first, we've got the instructions from the king. We are getting underway.
Thankfully, items will still be there, so we can see the dragon scale. They know they've got at least 2 defense when they put that on. The fairy water, and the obligatory magic. Ooh, they can also see spells like the hurt spell, so that'll probably help them in the beginning of Though, I don't know, our runner's going to be looking at the beginning of the game to try to figure out how much of all these stats they have, because you see their screens are blank there. And some of the things they can use as cues, if you hit for more than 1 damage, you'll see a pluralized damage message, so you know you hit for more than 1. There you go, you see we don't know how much that hurt did. They'll also be looking, of course, for the classic red screen of almost death as they get low.
So I know they were able to one-shot a slime, and now Highspirit's going to go up to level 2, or level censored here, with stat gains of power by blank, agility by blank, hit points by blank, and magic points by blank. This seed brought to you by Match Game.
I'd like to fill in the blank, please. Now, I believe you can tell double digits versus single digits, and I think if I counted correctly as I watched that go by, I think we had a double-digit hit point gain. So you can also tell by how many spaces are missing, whether you got single or double-digit gain. And on level 3, that looked like double-digit magic gains, maybe?
Now, I think we saw a town to the southwest, but our runner's less concerned with that and more concerned with trying to get some levels here in the early going, perhaps trying to get some additional spells.
Yeah, we can, again, see the spells, and there's outside and return popping up. Highspirits may be making a play for that town over there, we'll see. I'm not sure if MisterHomes saw it on his screen yet, but he will soon. Yeah, Boogaloo, that they're very kind early enemies. The Hurt spell helping out with that a lot, because Hurt can take out a lot of these early zone enemies. Only downside to that is we're not really sure where our stats are, but we'll figure it out.
So we see that, oh look, it's Breckenary. And you can see, well, we've got the bamboo pole, the flame sword, and I think I saw a chainmail, but Holmes noping out of all of it because, well, nothing's really affordable except the inn at Breckenary. So we know that there's at least 6 gold that Mr. Holmes has.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were going to try to buy things to see how much money they had. They've got to be somewhere in that 200 to 300, maybe. Maybe that's a little optimistic. They killed a bunch of scorpions. But fortunately, item prices are not randomized, so we do know how much everything costs, even though there's no...
Although that would have made for a really fun twist. Randomized weapon prices with challenge level 5? Oh, forget it.
We'll just sit here and try to buy it all. Sell it all to me. So see Highspirits going and do some exploring. They both have Warlock, so they can take out with several hurt spells. Again, I'm pretty sure we saw some double-digit MP gains, double-digit HP gains, so our runners will probably be pretty happy to take out this Warlock.
So now we can at least tell that both of our runners are at level 4, although Highspirits now getting up to 5. So power, speed, hit points, magic points, new spell. Heal more.
Looked like, I think I saw another double-digit hit point gain, so we might have a lot of hit points going here. Seems like there's been an awful lot of space there. Oh yeah, and Zarnak's pointing out too that none of our runners are in the red, so our hit points might be pretty good. They've been taking some hits. Wow, did Mr. Holmes just take a hit from a Wraith Knight and not go to the red? That's pretty impressive for level 5.
And we're being told in chat that it was 2 Wraith Knight attacks that kept them from the red.
And answering David Tiki's question in chat, do you just get a feel for how strong you are by how battles go? Basically, yeah. Things like, wow, that thing hit me, I'm not in the red, or like, wow, I killed it in two shots. But there, of course, is a lot of sort of guesswork, and it's a lot of like a feel and based on the experiences previous battles you've had. Both of them taking out wolves with hurt, so they're definitely taking advantage of that of that enemy. And we saw Highspirits finally running out of MP. He finally got the MP is too low.
Well, you don't know unless you try to cast it.
Yeah, we've got an indicator for the HP, but of course no indicator for the MP, so you have no idea.
So a bit of a divergence here. Mr. Holmes looking to grind as much as possible. Highspirits doing a little bit more meandering and runs into a blue dragon that says, back to the start you go. At the cost of half of your mystery gold.
Sorry, King, I have blank gold, so you get half of blank. Another way you can sort of tell, too, like how you're going to do is you have a general idea of what you can kill on what level on average. Of course, you don't know in this particular seed, but you know things like, on level 6, we usually have the stats to do whatever. On level 12, we can usually do that. So you can use some of that experience as well, combined with what you've seen earlier in this.
Well, you see Highspirits attempting to purchase a chainmail for 300 and does not have enough.
Yeah, and it looks like from chat that apparently Mr. Holmes did not have enough either, so no one getting... Mr. Holmes getting a small shield earlier, but no one getting that chainmail. The other thing that's the same, or the experience you need to go up levels. So we know, for example, it's level 7, we need 337 experience. And we can keep a rough idea of how much experience we have, especially here at the beginning, to figure out about when the levels are going to show. And Ali keeping track for us in chat, looks like at least 40 MP at level 5 based on the spells that Mr. Holmes has, Highspirits has cast.
So Highspirits now buying sundries in the item shop. until he can't, and now he can't because he doesn't have enough money.
Apparently he has less than 8 gold now. Yeah, so it looks like both of our runners have definitely deduced that they're pretty strong, and looks like they're trying to go take on the world and explore, which makes sense when you have a heal more spell, apparently a lot of MP, and the hurt spell is backup too. So we'll see if we start exploring. We get a little more information because we do get to see item names, so when they actually start getting to dungeons and start opening up treasure chests, we can see those at least. So that'll give us some information about how things are going too.
Ooh, there's Hurtmore at level 7.
Ooh, now, so to some extent, we don't even care how much damage we do. If we run into like a rogue scorpion, we know we can blast it with Hurtmore or a Magic Wave, and we're guaranteed to kill those in one shot, along with a host of other enemies that we have a good chance of one-shotting. So we don't even need to see numbers for that.
And for those just joining us here on RPG Limit Break, this is a bit of a different flag set here. Actually, it isn't even a flag set. You can just choose your character sprite as challenge level 5, and that hides all the numbers for an added challenge. Now, both of our runners here are 4-0 so far in the tournament. This is the 5th of 5 Swiss rounds, so this is basically a battle for seeding and bragging rights at this point.
Yeah, and a chance to do something a little more fun that we haven't seen before, like this challenge mode level 5. In case you're interested, I believe it was Highspirits and Smashy who debuted challenge level 1 in this tournament, which you don't get to see your sprite. I think there's a challenge level 2, which is the opposite, and you only get to see your sprite or something like that. And this is challenge level 5, where you get to see absolutely no numbers, so... So we have Hurtmore. We've kind of deduced that we have a decent amount of HP and MP, so we'll probably just go Hurtmore the world. Actually, Highspirit's trying to save his MP by hurting that Droll Magi, and that works just fine. He's going to go up to level... Oh, he doesn't have Hurtmore yet. He's about to get it now, level 7. That looks like Swamp South on MisterHomes' side. He's going to cast outside, and it takes him right next to a town of Garenham. No keys yet, unfortunately, but good to know where Garenham's at.
And it's going to take a look. We got a club, leather armor. I think I saw a large shield.
Oh, in chat, Shinkaido and Zarnax, you get to see your numbers once you start the Dragon Lord fight? I didn't know that. I thought you just had to swing away and hope. And an extra note about this, when we get to coordinates value, the coordinates, our runners agreed that the token could not be on the overworld, so we're guaranteed token is not on the overworld. How do coordinates work is you just have to look at the number of numbers, the number of places that are in that number, and guess. So the token does not have to be on the coordinates because that could involve a lot of required searching, but if the armor's on those coordinates, we could have some fun.
We could be grinding for a while, basically.
Or searching every Sparkover bridge we can possibly find, and non-Sparkover bridge, and just tile. So Highspirits has found Swamp Cave and Garenham, and has found that he does not have the $800 gold required to buy a large shield, so he's going to go get more sundries. Oh, E-Tap, this is probably more than a bit ridiculous, but man, is it fun. I mean, at least the good news is we did get hurt more early on, so to some extent our stats don't really matter. Like this Wraith Knight, we just hurt more away, so we're definitely going to enter a period here where we see a lot of exploration and not a whole lot of trying to worry or figure out what our numbers are, because we either just do things like run from this golem or kill this scorpion without worrying. But it's good to see the randomizers in its usual form. Here, take hurt more. Now take a stoneman and a golem. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much. That'll be really useful for my hurt.
So to answer the question, Chad, of what, and I feel like we're going to be repeating this, so we should almost have like a pre-recorded loop of this. This is challenge level 5. It's a selection you can do in the character sprites where it eliminates all numbers from view of the game. So you have to kind of go along by feel and guess what, well, you have to keep track of what level you're at, what your hit points, magic points, gold, experience are. Apparently a CL5 might be a command to create here.
Oof.
Oh, we don't have any space in the bot for it. Okay.
This is challenge level 5. I don't want to see challenge level 6. Jeez.
Well, apparently Highspirits attempted a challenge level 10 that I believe it was just basically everything was in the darkness.
Oh, that's challenge level 10. Okay, I've heard of that one, but I didn't realize that was challenge level 10. MisterHomes did spot Harp Cave, by the way. He doesn't have the silver harp to trade in yet, but he'll make note of that, and he'll go back there when he... Yeah, no numbers isn't so bad. I can take this chart that I'm totally not reading off of, that I totally don't have right in front of me, and actually not have it totally right in front of me. Yeah, Eternal Lee has it. Challenge level 10 is the exact opposite of this, where you can only see the numbers and nothing else, because, yeah, there's a whole bunch of fun little challenge levels to amuse, challenge, and just mess with you. And yeah, Axiom, like MisterHomes runs this from time to time. Highspirits, I think, has run this before. They're both extremely familiar with the randomizer, and so they're gonna know every way they can to sort of reason out what these numbers have to be, or at least the range of that. Oh yeah, absolutely. No, I knew you were serious. Yeah, I just wanted to point that out for everyone else too. That is absolutely correct. These two guys definitely know the way around this randomizer, and if anyone could deal with not having numbers, it's definitely these two.
Yes, MisterHomes, the inaugural champion back 3 years ago when the tournament first rolled out, and Highspirits winning the Dragon Warrior Randomizer League earlier this year, as well as last year the Dragon Warrior Randomizer Chaos Tournament.
Yeah, and again, this part's probably pretty much like you're used to if you've seen previous randomizer races. Again, we have hurt more, so we can hurt more things away. We have heal more, so if we see red, we can pop heal more on. Based on our early experiences, we have enough MP to use those somewhat liberally, so we're fully into exploration mode right now. Ooh. And I don't know, MisterHomes found Big Swamp. I don't know where we're playing with that, but apparently he's found a Big Swamp. We aren't playing with Big Swamp, but there's one. Oh, and Highspirits playing in the swamp as well. So our runners kind of following each other around this map here as they look to complete their exploration. Ooh, except Highspirits not able to see his HP. I think as soon as he saw it turn red, the wizard popped up and decided to take the rest of it before he could do anything. So he's got to start his exploration over from the castle. And Mr. Holmes has found a little desert of caves up here.
Caves for all. Let's see here. This, based on the movement, is the mountain cave. So this will be access to 5 free treasure chests.
Yep, we haven't looked at any chests yet. As you mentioned at the beginning, we're looking for a silver harp and a stones of sunlight, possibly a token, but also, of course, that Erdrick sword out there. Would love to find that. Or maybe we could get a key out of a treasure chest and not have to go find Romualdr out there somewhere and start opening things up. So definitely some things we could find in here. Oh, and Highspirits coming at the desert cave from a little different side. He's also in the mountain cave now, I believe.
No,
Never
that's
mind.
a tablet cave.
He went in the other one, so he's in Tablet Cave, which gives 1 free chest. No enemies in here. You just have to spend about, well, he has outside, so you only have to make 1 trip, but about 30 seconds walking in to check. Oh, and Mr. Holmes. I think he just hero ran from a red dragon in the red and got a fairy water for his trouble. Ooh, Highspirits finding our first gold of blank chest. Exciting. Ooh, second red dragon gets Mr. Holmes. So it looks like the first floor of Mountain Cave is a whole lot of fun, and Highspirits about to dive into that. Luckily for our runners, Mountain Cave is pretty close to the castle, I think, so at least we can get back there fast.
And the red dragons will be awaiting.
Yeah, Highspirits gets a much better dragon, a green dragon. With Hurtmore, he has a good chance of one-shotting it, and does, so he gets an extra 130 experience from 130-ish.
135, I think.
I was told we wouldn't need numbers, though.
Fair enough, approximately.
Ooh, while Highspirits deals with the red dragon, Mr. Holmes finding Hawksness. He has Hurtmore and Healmore, so he's got a good chance of dealing with those two. With that end. Oh, damn it! Sorry, Mr.
Oh, it's a red dragon. That is why they're the fun police.
That's the one enemy that Hurtmore and Healmore probably won't help with. Maybe the Golem too, but no, that's not going to work right now. But Mr. Holmes does know where that is. I don't think I've seen either one of our runners dive back into Mountain Cave, which I guess is understandable since the red dragons roam the first floor. But if you can make it down to the second floor, there's still 4 treasure chests waiting down there and possibly nicer enemies. So with it being relatively close to the castle... Oh, I might have spoke too soon. Highspirits might be going for...
But a golem might have had something to say about it. Meanwhile, Mr. Holmes takes out a metal slime for presumably 255 experience.
Ooh, metal slimes are easy to kill without numbers.
No, they're still a pain to kill.
And there we go. Highspirits did make it to the second floor, so hopefully he sees better enemies here. And hopefully... Oh. Wait, did he make it to the second floor? Do both floors really have these guys?
Tried for a YOLO Hurtmore, I guess? Or... I don't know.
I wonder if that was a mismenu, or if he was just sick and tired of it. Once he saw more red dragons, he decided to death warp and do something else. Knowing Highspirits, I doubt it was a mismenu, and yeah, he's not even concerned with the mountain cave, so he's probably just death warping to get out of there and go explore a different direction.
So we have a seed validation on Mr. Holmes' side. Having searched the what's known as the Sparkover Bridge, a bridge leading to a single tile, and The hope is that one of these days that will be the item that you don't even need coordinates for, because that'll have whatever the overworld search spot is.
How amazing would that have been if the seed we finally see something there would have been the seed with no numbers? But alas, that one had nothing. Maybe we'll find another spark over bridge though. Oh, and Highspirits about to get the bad news.
Oh, but here's the town of Cole over on Holmes' side. Searchable spot once the NPC moves out of the way, and it's Erdrick's armor.
Ooh, that'll do. That'll do.
So the best armor in the game, now in possession of MisterHomes.
Yeah, and that definitely saves us too, because now we know the armor is, of course, not on the overworld. We do not need coordinates to get the armor. We do not need coordinates to get the tokens. So all you out there hoping we're going to see, the search of several hundreds random overworld tiles, you can rest assured we will not.
Good, because I do have to get to work in the morning, and not to be outdone, here comes Highspirits waltzing into Cole, and is going to be thrilled to get his armor maybe about a minute or so after MisterHomes.
Yeah, we've been kind of focused on lack of numbers and what are they going to do with this, what are they going to do with that. It's pretty impressive how close a race this is with no numbers. They are right on each other's tail. They've both done pretty much the exact same things, just maybe a few seconds apart. And we see on Mr. Holmes' side, and probably very shortly on Highspirits just gets away. On level 9, they did learn Sleep, which you see Mr. Holmes able to use on that Stone Man to get away from him. Stone Men very, very susceptible to sleep, and once you put him to sleep, you can run away. Maybe later on we might think about attacking them, maybe, but for now we just use this as a little escape device. Unfortunately, Sleep probably not going to work on those red dragons that have been causing so much trouble, though.
The question in chat, how do you even do this without numbers? Well, a lot of it just comes from experience and going by feel, knowing what damage range you can do on particular enemies. That kind of gives you an idea if you're attacking roughly what attack power you have. And then you can just do the calculations based on what weapon you have, whether you have the fighter's ring on. Similarly, calculating how you take damage from what enemy, about what range it is that you're getting. Kind of gives you an idea of what damage they can do. And similarly, once you see that you're in the red, you know that you're down to a quarter of your maximum hit points. So both of these guys are pretty good numbers guys, so they probably can calculate a good amount of that.
Yeah, and having hurt more early helps a lot too, because you can just do what Highspirits over here is doing and not really care about the numbers. Oh, whoops. Sorry, Highspirits, but he'll get the Axe Knight here. I was going to say and hurt more attack and pretty reliably take it out, but I guess he does only have the club, so maybe he needed 2 attacks, but still got it. Thankfully, hurt more makes the numbers a little less important. That said, though, Mr. Holmes has found a Demon Knight over there, which has the Hurt More spell. He's stop spelled, and now he's wailing away. So that's a nice little find there.
And a little bonus, because again, we've been focusing so much on the numbers. But looks like, well, the Axe Knights have stop spell, which stop spell is negated by Erdrick's armor. So that's going to make the Axe Knights a very grindable enemy along the way.
Even more grindable than they usually are with Hurt More. Usually you don't care what they have. They can do whatever they want to. You just hurt more than way, but with Stop Spell, man, it's even easier. Let's see, Mr. Holmes picking up another level, and I guess he got a spell, but I didn't see which one it was. Repel, okay. We do have a pretty full spell book. We're just missing, we got heal. Apparently just missing heal.
And Radiant? Oh no, we just got Radiant.
Yeah, I missed Radiant on the screen, but then Mr. Holmes cast it, so we must have it. He's back in the tablet cave. He's about to get his blank, so...
Sorry, I was dealing with a rather rambunctiously loud canine.
Does he have any numbers for us?
Well, she, in this case, no, I tried to get some numbers from her, but everything that she gave me was rather rough.
Oh, that was good. That was good. I was going to say that she had a red dragon from Mr. Holmes. Mr. Holmes uninterested and runs away. He's going to get to the second floor and I think see what Highspirits saw, that there are more friends down here. A rambunctious golem. Alright, so we'll see what we got here. An herb. And another herb. That's exciting.
Double herbs. And here we've got a third herb. Apparently the mountain cave has been renamed the Herb Cave at this point.
So we found herbs. We found a red dragon again. They were on both floors. Mr. Holmes just a few steps away from this last chest. We'll see if he can sneak away from... There he goes. And he's going to be safe here, heal up, and check this.
And a magic key.
Whew, so that is well worth it. We had the first 3 chests on that floor, not so interesting, but that magic key, extremely useful. Looks like Highspirits, of course, right behind. Oh no, is he in Swamp Cave? I was gonna say, I thought Highspirits was right behind in Mountain Cave, picking up those chests again, but I can't tell from the move.
There might have been a little bit of bonking going on. I mean, given this enemy set, oof, that is not ideal. Well, okay, there's a Magidrakey. And question in chat, can the runners hear the commentators? No, they cannot, nor can they see each other's stream. This is, in a sense, a race to see who, it's taking on one another here. So they can't see the chat. They are completely oblivious to what the other is doing. The only way they know somebody will have finished is if they see the dot done in the IRC chat.
So yeah, based on the movements and based on the, of course, the key right there, Highspirits was in Mountain Cave. He went back to Mountain Cave and got a much nicer set of enemies the second time around, and he got his magic key as well. And I think I see on Mr. Holmes we had blank, Stones of Sunlight, Airdrick's token, and more gold. So we have gold grinds available, and we got 2 of our 3 quest items.
Oh, an interesting move there by Holmes. Going in and out of the throne room there to potentially set up a treasure chest glitch here. And programming oversight on the part of the developers, where the game only tracks up to 8 treasure chests as opened. Oh, but in this case, it looks like we've got the rainbow drop cave in the back, so they won't be able to take care of that, at least not at the immediate moment.
Yeah, if that had been the grave down there, you saw Mr. Holmes open 4 treasure chests in the treasury. He went back into the throne room. He gets credit for the 3 that he opened at the beginning of the game, because they don't want you to keep opening those over and over again. So his little array was sitting at 7, and it had a max of 8. If the grave had been below, he could have opened 1 more treasure chest to fill the array, and then anything after that, the chest glitch would be active. But if he finds the grave, or if he he probably won't decide to go back to Mountain because it's very scary. But if he finds the grave, he can open up 3 chests there, death wart back, and still initiate the gold grind. He now knows where in the treasury gold exists. So,
yep, 2 different cracks at it.
But I think we've only seen a flame sword, right? We haven't seen a silver.
I think there was a silver shield in coal, if I recall correctly.
Okay, so we could see a gold grind indeed. At which point our runners would not be able to see the number of gold that they're getting, so they would probably have to assume they're only getting min rolls on gold and just to take the...
Well, speaking of which, Highspirits actually has that chest glitch because he did death warp from the mountain cave. So, having found the axe ghost in this center chest, so now it is just taking gold for as much as you'd like, but you don't know how much you're taking.
Oh, MisterHomes doing better than the gold grind. He finds in the back of Garanham the sword. So if Highspirits is gold grinding for the flame sword, he's going to head over to Garanham eventually, probably very shortly, and find the big sword sitting over there.
And I believe, based on things here, this has to be Garen's grave in the back of Garanham.
Absolutely right. Looks like it is. We're still looking for the silver harp, which I think has to be either here or possibly Remolder, or maybe bonus cave, I guess, but never mind. There's the harp. So we're good on quest items. We still could look for a fighter's ring or death necklace if we really felt like it, but I imagine we don't. I imagine we're going to be good with just... Be curious to see if MisterHomes takes a death warp here, though, and decides to set up his own gold grind. Looks like I got my answer pretty quickly.
Oh, huh. That would have been a setup, absolutely. I mean, the 3 in Garanham plus the 3 in the back of Garanham. So once the death warp into the castle had occurred, the treasure chest glitch would have automatically been active.
I wonder if on MisterHomes' side, he's thinking that, he ran from several red dragons in the mountain cave to clear it. I wonder if he's thinking he has decent agility, he has decent defense power, maybe he doesn't need a silver shield. Maybe he can get by with just a large...
Well, Highspirits back into Breckenary. And is going to get the flame sword.
So he'll only have that for a little bit, but...
Well, every little bit helps.
Look at this, they're both even getting the fairy water out of Breckenary. They really are following each other's footsteps here. Answering Wiziski 3K, does the search tile have anything? It could have anything, although the runners have agreed to vet the seed to make sure the token was not on the search spot. So it could have had the armor, in this case it didn't, or it could have the fairy flute. We don't know what's there. Answering Shinkaido, it could be the flute, or there might not be any coordinates at all. We don't even know if there are coordinates. We haven't even seen Cantlin, but in theory, the flute could be in a chest still, and the overworld spot could be empty. And with no numbers at 36.5 minutes, MisterHomes has the rainbow drop, so that's pretty impressive for sure.
Well, it goes to show the skill of our runners here.
Interesting. MisterHomes, with the rainbow drop, with all his required items, is going to go back to Hawksness. Hawksness could also have our fairy flute, I suppose. But I wonder if he's just going to try to grind on these red dragons, see if maybe he has the strength to take one out.
Well, Highspirits trying to get away.
Yeah, the part of this that makes this sort of interesting now is you can't do Dragon Lord math because you don't really know how much strength you have or HP or MP. So deciding when it's time to dive is going to be a very interesting call. I'm not entirely sure how they're going to do it, but I wonder if Mr. Holmes is trying to use this red dragon as kind of like a little barometer. Like, okay, well, he kills me in this many attacks, or I can 3-shot him or 4-shot him to get some sort of idea of when he's going to be ready to go.
I think
Yeah, I just saw ETAP's grinding guess mode. I think that is 1000% correct. Yeah, so Mr. Holmes will be able to get, okay, it looks like he's going to find something else. He just got an idea of what his stats were from that one, it looks like. As Highspirits is in Garenham, so he'll have his sword in a minute, and he'll probably certainly go back in the grave and get his harp as well, and have his complete set of things.
so. HS now going to get the news of Erdrick's sword, replacement key, and the cursed belt.
Oh, well, there you go. I guess that means the flute does have to be on the overworld somewhere, right? Because the token was in a chat. And yeah, answering Shin Kaido in chat, I don't think Mr. Holmes did search the Hawksnest tile. I don't think he really was interested in that. I think he was more trying to get trying to see where he was at with the red dragon. But you're right, I don't think he ever searched it. So the fairy flute could still be there, or it could be on the overworld. I don't think either runner's really that interested in the fairy flute. But yeah, if you kill a red dragon there, I feel like you might as well grab it. But I don't think he searched. And here goes Highspirits into the grave with his harp, so his little quest item collection is complete.
And HS gonna outside and return here.
Yeah, I didn't see. He just got his flame sword with his gold grind money, right? He didn't ever get to a silver shield or any shield at all. Or?
Well, I think based on how much Highspirits was grinding, that he got enough for potentially both.
Oh, okay, and Frisco Steve saying in chat that he did get a large shield. And so maybe he still has that silver shield money. I don't think we've seen him die yet, so maybe he's on his way to get that.
Well, this will be interesting to see. He's got the spot. And does have enough.
Oh, that'd be heartbreaking if you showed up there after a gold grind and didn't have enough. But again, with Highspirits, I'm not surprised that he had that planned out perfectly. Yeah, looks like Holmes is going to check the swamp tile for a potential grind.
Yep, an enemy that keeps reappearing and reappearing. There's also one in Hawksness, as well as one deep in Sharlock Castle, just before the Dragon Lord, almost as kind of a mini-boss, as now we have a level here for Highspirits. 0 power, 0 MP. Empty Eyes commentating, but he loves it.
Even if there are no numbers, we can still tell when good old Empty Eyes around.
And the Stone Man looks to be the Guardian, at least I believe so. Well, we've got... Yep, that is the Guardian.
Oh, Mr. Spokes with a good point in chat. I noticed Highspirits casting Hurt, and I couldn't quite figure it out. But yeah, he stayed at the end and then cast Hurt over and over again until he got the low MP notice. So he does have a good idea what his MP is. That's an interesting way to find out how much MP you have left. and Highspirits finding Cantlin, but he's already got the best armor in the game. We're not going to worry about the coordinates because actually we know we don't know they're not any, but we don't really mind. We don't want the not for coordinates of blank blank. Okay, and I guess Frisco Steve saying that Highspirits had 10 heal mores at level 9, so we got a good idea where our MP is, right?
So that'd be 80 plus whatever came in this time around.
Yeah, that's obviously really good information to have. If you know how many heal mores you have a decent idea of when you should go. So very interesting the way our runners are testing to sort of figure out what their stats are.
And Holmes figuring that the grind on the Red Dragon is going to be preferable.
Highspirits getting gold out of the bonus cave because he needs more gold after gold grinding and buying all the best gear he could. Yeah, I wonder if Mr. Holmes is doing this both because it's maybe easier to tell what his stats are against the Red Dragon, and of course the Red Dragon also giving more experience, well, the most experience anything gives. But yeah, as chat's noting, you want to, be able to at least 4-shot them, probably 3-shot them before you're ready to take a dive. Aw, Zarnax hoping we see a Death Necklace gamble. That'd be pretty awesome. We haven't found the Death Necklace, though. Maybe our runners will swing by the Sharlock Treasury and look for the Death Necklace or Fighter's Ring. Not sure, but you never know.
Yeah, so we want to give thanks for a moment here to Zarnax42 for doing the tracking this evening, and CD Improv, our restreamer.
Yeah, definitely thanks to them, especially in this less traditional, different seed. There's definitely a lot of different challenges involved, and they've been great with the restreaming and great with the tracking. Ooh, and Red Dragons have the heal spell. That seems good. We can probably outdamage that.
Also of note, Holmes did search that spot and there was nothing. So the coordinates will lead to the flute, whatever blank and blank are. And here comes 0 blank blank and blank for level 12 for Mr. Holmes.
Mr. Spokes, I believe, yes, the old man does give coordinates, but like all the other numbers you see up here, they are blacked out, so you cannot tell. Unless one is a 3-digit number, because as people have mentioned in chat a couple times, the way it's spaced out, it always looks the same if it's 1 or 2 digits, apparently. But if it's a 3-digit number, you can tell. Otherwise, yeah, that's all the information you get about coordinates. And David Dickey, yeah, in vanilla Death Necklace, just curses you. You can sell it for a bunch of money. You can also sell it for a bunch of money here, but in Randomizer, it has the added effect of it'll give you 10 extra strength in exchange for 25% of your HP. So if we could see numbers, we'd know if that was an okay thing to do. But with no numbers, it would really, really be a gamble. Zwidar, yes, a little bit. The runners did agree to a seed where no token could be on the overworld, but yeah, if the armor was on the overworld, we could see a whole lot of either grinding or a whole lot of searching random spike tiles. In value, I believe that is true. I believe that if you accidentally sell the armor, you can go back and pick it up. But the armor in this regular randomizer only sells for 1 gold, so it's not really a good thing to do. So if you accidentally sell it, though, I believe you can go pick it up again.
That is correct.
Yeah, I think that's like a chaos strategy, right? Where everything has a random price. If the Erdrick's armor randomly sells for a lot of money, you can go sell it and pick it up and sell it and pick it up. But in regular version of the randomizer, it's just worth 1 gold.
Well, not even chaos mode, just anything where you have the random weapon and armor prices flag on, then yes, even Erdrick's sword and Erdrick's armor do sell for random prices, and some people have used that for a grind. I know that's something I did in a seed I played recently, where Erdrick's armor sold for like 3,500 gold or something like that. So it was in coal, so I just picked it up, went to the shop, bought a different armor, traded it in, sold it, went back, got the armor again, traded, and just kind of kept repeating it that until I got the gold that I needed for whatever it was, the silver shield or otherwise.
Oh, interesting. Chat saying that they could sell their Erdrick's armor so they could go walk in the swamp until they die and figure out what their HP is that way. That's kind of an interesting idea. I didn't think of that. So, yeah, you could ditch Erdrick's armor so you could figure out your damage and your HP and then go pick it back up again. And Mr. Spokes, yes, I believe last week Highspirits played Smashy, and they played what's called Challenge Level 1, where you couldn't see your sprite. This week, Highspirits and MisterHomes moving up to Challenge Level 5, where the numbers have disappeared. And answering CD, yeah, the only two things we really care about in chests anymore would be the Fighter's Ring or the Death Necklace. I wonder if Highspirits is maybe just diving an informational dive. Oh, I'm sorry, Ali, you're right. It was Smashy versus Holmes. Sorry, I got it mixed up. It was one of these runners versus Smashy, but you're right. It was Mr. Holmes, not Highspirits.
And another level here for Holmes. And Highspirits entering Charlotte Castle.
Yeah, I feel like this has to be an information dive. Do I remember that when you start the Dragonlord fight, you actually get to see your numbers? So maybe he's going to go down, pick up some experience, and check his stats that way? Or he's hanging on the top floor to grind, maybe it looks like?
Well, it seems to be that, Highspirits just looking for enemies to take on here in Charlock. A lot of hurt mortal enemies, armored knights, axe knights.
Yeah, if you're looking for hurt mortal enemies, you found them. Star Wyverns, armored knights, axe knights. Definitely going to be nice to throw some hurt more. Only thing with this is I don't know for Highspirits if he's going to be able to get a sense of when he's ready to go, unless he's going to just base it off his levels. Mr. Holmes with Red Dragon Grind can, again, kind of base it off of, like, when he can 2-shot him, when he can, or 3-shot him, when he can 4-shot him, how much damage he takes before going in the red, how many hits he takes before going in the red, that sort of.
Ooh, and there's a back attack.
Ooh, and there's a green dragon. So Highspirits, this top zone has at least 4 of the 5 enemies are very, very susceptible to hurt.
So as long as there's a town with an inn pretty close to Charlock, it's a dead heat as to which would be. I mean, you might think it'd be a little bit faster on Highspirits' side.
Yeah, and we also noticed there the Star Wyvern missed him, so he must be defense breaking the Star Wyvern. So he's got at least 86. He's got at least 86 agility. I mean defense.
So yeah, knowing the damage calculation tables and when it changes over once you've defense broken an enemy, that certainly is a noted point.
Although I guess, well, he's only level 11, I suppose, but with Erdrick's armor and the silver shield, I kind of hope you had a lot of defense, and it does look like Highspirits has a pretty solid amount of defense here. Game Boy F9 doing the math for us in chat, because I was told there'd be no numbers in this. 72, at least 72 agility for Highspirits on level 11, which that's pretty good. Although ironically, that might mean that Mr. Holmes really has the advantage, because Mr. Holmes did not do a gold grind. He just went for the large shield, didn't bother to gold grind, and as several people have pointed out in chat, that gold grind and silver shield cost Highspirits some time grinding, and that's why Mr. Holmes is up a level. So if we have high agility, that might be to Mr. Holmes' advantage, not taking the time to gold grind. Oh, the green dragon has sleep and some sort of breath. We can't tell which type, but that'll make them a little more annoying.
And that all of a sudden made Sharlock less fun than previously indicated.
Oh, you can have less fun in Sharlock? I didn't know that. Ooh, Axe Knights have Hurtmore all of a sudden. I think we saw a stop spell earlier, right? But they showed up with Hurtmore too.
Yeah.
At least we're seeing more stop spells than Hurtmore, so maybe the Axe Knight prefers his stop spell a little bit. But still, we're seeing some things that could be kind of annoying on a dive. You know, even if you do have reliable chance of running from those guys, you know, you get blocked one time and a green dragon spews some fire, puts you to sleep. It's annoying. Takes some time. Axe Knight decides to throw a Hurtmore your way. It takes more time, a few more resources. So Shadowlock Dive went from looking really nice in the top zone to maybe being a little more annoying than we first thought. It does appear that Cantlin is very close to Sharlock at least, so Highspirits has that going for him. The refills, when he does get thy MP is too low message, are not going to take too long. I wonder if Highspirits is just showcasing off the old man, because he's going to go check out the coordinates and show us exactly what you see. Blank north and blank east to our fairy flute. I don't know, CD. I blinked and I didn't see any numbers either. Who knows what they could be? Zarnax does point out, based on the spacing, it looks like 2x2, or not 3x. No triple digits, I guess we should. Yeah, I don't think those kind of searches are going to be worth a fairy flute. Maybe an armor, but not a fairy flute.
And Mr. Holmes gaining another level in Hawksness.
Yeah, he's motoring through those red dragons, isn't he? They must have a fair amount of stats if he's just taking the red dragons down this frequently. So Pantheros, thankfully in this seed, they agreed to no token in the overworld. But yeah, a couple people have watched Mr. Holmes run this before, and the short answer is you search tiles for an hour, you search tiles for a second hour, you search tiles for a third hour, and then you probably throw your controller at the wall and go do something else, I think is how it works. It is extremely messy if something is on the overworld, if the token, or even the armor, is on the overworld.
So you're saying it sounds like me playing Dragon Warrior 4 Randomizer? Searching for 3 hours and then throwing the controller?
I can neither confirm nor deny your Dragon Warrior 4 Randomizer abilities, but everyone play Dragon Warrior 4 Randomizer while we're talking about it. Chat is demanding a stream, and I cannot confirm or deny that one may exist.
Oh, it happened when I hit 50 followers, so I think the statute of limitations might be up on that in terms of Twitch storage.
We'll just have to make a new stream then, as Highspirits is back to Hurtmoring his Armored Knights, and Mr. Holmes hacking away at those red dragons.
Fair point, I did just pass 100 followers.
So I'm kind of curious how Highspirits is going to decide when to go, like if he's just going to base it off of levels, because again, that's kind of the one downside to his grind, is when you hurt more things, you're going to destroy Star Wyverns and Green Dragons and Axe Knights a lot with Hurtmore. You're going to two-shot Armored Knights almost all the time. So it's hard to get an idea of when you have ghost stats. And MisterHomes, as people watching in chat, looking to see, is he 3-shotting him? Is he 4-shotting him? So at least he's getting some sort of idea of how much attack power he has. And apparently he just excellent moves every red dragon, so that, makes anything a good grind.
But my guess is Highspirits figures, all right, I'm at level 12, it's not going to be enough.
Right, so I'm just wondering if he's going to decide, like, I'm going to go to, 15, and that's usually enough, or I'm going to go to 16, and that's usually enough, and let's dive and see what's going on kind of thing, maybe? Oh, and MisterHomes in the red with the IMP is too low, and just getting that final hit on that red dragon, and now he knows he's off to refresh, refill. Ooh, Highspirits up to level 12 now. Neonlar, Silence Forever means that the flute is on the coordinates somewhere. That's usually where you see the coordinates, and it is the fairy flute. But because we're playing with no numbers, we don't know what coordinates the old man told us. So unless we go search, what did Game Boy say, several, 10,000 tiles or something like that, we won't know where the fairy flute is. And because the fairy flute is not all that interesting of an item, sure, it'll put golems to sleep, but that's about it. Neither of our runners is going to go search every tile for the fairy flute. So fairy flute is lost to this seed. We're never going to see it, and it has therefore been silenced forever. Poor fairy flute.
It's being treated like Brecconary.
Brecconary. Actually useful in the seed. We saw MisterHomes went to Brecconary for the refill. Brecconary is not far from Hawksness, so I'll begrudgingly say Brecconary is useful in this seed.
Said with such vitriol, too.
I do what I can. Yeah, Pantheros, mostly this is a 4-0, the bracket. Both the runners have made the bracket stage of the tournament. This is just for seeding, and looking over it, the seedings aren't really that. Especially looking at the bottom part of the seedings, they're all difficult. So our runners are mostly taking this opportunity to just do something fun, do something a little different with their race this week. In the tournament, if two runners agree to a different flag set or different set of rules, they can go ahead and do it. And you see here, they've agreed to what's called Challenge Level 5 and taking all the numbers off. Again, just as something a little different, spice it up, show us a little something other than the usual randomizer races.
Giving you something you wouldn't expect.
Yeah, if you do have the randomizer, download the randomizer and want to try this, because who would this doesn't look like fun. It's actually not a separate option, but it's underneath the sprites. There's a variety of different sprites you can play with, and if you go all the way down to the bottom of that sprite list, you'll see Challenge Level 1, Challenge Level 2, Challenge Level 5, Challenge Level 10, and I think that's all of them for now, unless I missed some new ones. But that's where you can find these different challenge levels under the sprites. Yeah, Neon Lair asking about which one has the fastest grind. It's a little tough to tell because we, of course, can't see. This is a tough one, actually. Hawksness is a little far away from, I think it's the opposite direction than Charlock, but Hawksness is close to a town anyway. The spike tile, having the guaranteed encounter every time is nice. But Highspirits in Charlock has a lot of enemies you can hurt more and take down quickly. So he doesn't get an encounter every step, but when he does get an encounter, they're done with very quickly. So it's kind of tough to tell. Also, the Red Dragon gives most experience in the game, 255. It's a little tough to tell which one's better. I tend to lean toward probably the guaranteed encounters a little faster, but I don't know. And as you've seen in chat, and as Mr. Spokes pointed out too, with the red dragon, you get a really good idea of what your attack power is based on how fast you can kill this red dragon. Whereas High Spirits, you're always going to hurt more an Axe Knight in one go, or almost always hurt more an Axe Knight in one go, no matter what your AP is. So. I think I would agree, especially with the no numbers thing. I think Hawksness is the way to go. If we had numbers and it was a standard one, it might be a little closer call. But I do like the fact that Mr. Holmes is able to sort of gauge what his stats are and get the 255 and get the guaranteed encounter. Maybe Mr. Tiggles. High Spirits is sprinkling regular attacks. On the Green Dragon, you aren't always guaranteed to hurt more in one shot. Sometimes it has a little extra HP, so you need to land an attack to finish it. Like here, High Spirits hurt more, but the Green Dragon's still alive. So once he wakes up, he'll have to swing to finish it off. Oh, CD, is High Spirit swinging at the Armored Knight? I'm sorry, I missed that. I thought he was just hurt more. But if he's swinging at the Armored Knight, that's also going to give him an idea of how much attack power he has.
Ooh, and a fizzled hurt more over on HS's side.
The Axe Knight shows him that he has a hurt more too, but High Spirits' hurt more is better. Yeah, so I'll be really curious to see when these runners decide to go. I think based on what we've seen, it's probably still another couple levels or so, but very, very interesting when they do decide to make that call. And if we do get the Death Knuckles involved, that'd be really, really interesting. Lorgon asking how easy was the armor to obtain. It was the easiest armor we could have asked for. It was the armor in coal. So as soon as we found the coal, we wandered up to the 4 steps south of the baths, and we found some armor waiting for us. And yes, Lorgon, you could do that. I missed that earlier, but yes, that is possible. You could sell off your Erdrick's armor, walk around the swamp to learn the HP, and then go reacquire it.
To answer the question in chat, this is being done. Both runners did agree to do this challenge set.
Yes, so not all the matches will be like this. This is a special between these two runners. There are some other interesting flag sets coming up that I've seen in the tournament schedule. So we'll see all kinds of different twists on the randomizer. But this is just for just High Spirits. Mr. Holmes decided to run this one. And Zarnax asking if High Spirits ever tried to fight a red dragon. I think he tried to fight the one in Hawksness, but that was early on, so I don't know if he saw heal or not. And Kenjutsu noting in chat that most red dragons going down in 5 hits, so that would be some kind of low AP. Yeah, we're probably not there yet at 15. So we're going to see a bunch more grinding and a bunch more red dragons, a bunch more Sharlock top floor here on High Spirits side, but no numbers. Yeah, Pantheros, I guess I've been told that when you start the Dragon Lord fight, you see it, but I've never made it as far as the Dragon Lord fight in this challenge mode myself, so I will see, maybe. Or it looks like our wonderful tracker restreamer, CD, will load them up for us afterwards, too, if we don't get a chance to see them.
if Mr. Holmes is averaging 5 attacks for a red dragon, then I would say that his attack power is probably somewhere in the low 110s, maybe.
That sounds about right. What's the HP range on a red dragon? Something like 100 to 110 to 120, something like that?
Red dragon only goes up to 106.
Oh, okay. So average of 5 attacks, you're looking around 21, 22 damage, something in that range on average?
Yeah, officially the red dragon can have as low as 80 and as high as 106.
It always seems like so much more when you're fighting them. I mean, again, of note, I guess we saw it on Highspirits' side when he defense broke that Star Wyvern, but Mr. Holmes, we're barely seeing any red over there. And I know the Red Dragon has heal, but man, he's taking a lot of hits and not really losing a lot of, or not getting low on HP, it looks like, as he picks up 16. Yeah, on 16, we weren't able to see any of the numbers, of course, but as Shinkaido points out, based on the spacing, it looked like all single digits. But of course, we have no idea if that's 1111 or 9999, so.
Or anything in between.
Pick your favorite lotto numbers, and that was Mr. Holmes level 16. Yeah, he's decided that he's not quite ready yet, so he's back on the Red Dragon grind. And again, at least we know how far apart the levels are. It's 2250 to the next one, so that sounds like that's going to be, what, 9 Red Dragons before we see 17? Well, get 17, we won't,
Yep, seeing is believing, and that's why this is unbelievable.
Ooh, Highspirits. Speaking of maybe unbelievable, is looks like he's going to progress into Sharlock. I wonder if this is to go take a shot at the Dragon Lord, or I wonder if it's just to explore down and get information about the further.
Well, I mean, using a torch, running from everything, that seems like a diving strategy.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe he might be going for a gamble. We do seem to have a lot of HP, as evidenced by Mr. Holmes taking all these attacks from Red Dragon without having to go into the red. I wonder if he's, maybe going to try to find a death necklace and slap it on and see if he can do some damage here.
Well, given the plethora of sleep-casting green dragons, these first couple of floors are not going to be fun.
I want to say things like at least they have the agility to run from the green dragon, but I think we all know what agility is for.
It's like, whose line is it anyway? Everything's made up and the points don't matter. That's agility.
Highspirits is going after this Axe Knight, so maybe he's going to grind a little bit on the way down and hope for a big 15. Or as Zarnax points out in chat, maybe just going to do a Dragon Lord fight, chuck a couple of Hurtmores at it just to see what his stats look like. Might not be the worst if you can get some experience on the way down and pick up some, maybe like a Fighter's Ring or Death Necklace. Like if you see your stats and you see you have tons of HP and you can throw that Death Necklace on, might be worth it. Highspirits definitely looks like he has the bottom floor in mind. Whether it's just for the treasure, whether it's for the Dragon Lord, we will see.
And meanwhile, Holmes continuing to grind.
Yeah, I lost count, but I'm sure he knows exactly how many more red dragons he needs. For 17 anyway.
Oh, and there's a death to the dragon, probably being out of resources. So let's see, which way will Highspirits go? He's going to go into the treasury.
Yeah, especially with what we've seen on Mr. Holmes' side. Not that Highspirits would have that information, but a fighter's ring could certainly be important. And again, with high HP, maybe we're talking about Death Necklace here. Maybe. And there is the fighter's ring that will grant them 2 extra attack. But I don't think we had the Death Necklace in there, did we?
We did not.
So it's either in the vanilla sword chest, a couple floors up in Sharlock, or it's at the bottom of the grave. And Walranium pointing out in chat too, yeah, Holmes did choose the Death Warp over going back to Brecconary. It may have been because he just thought he could finish that red dragon off, or maybe as you point out, maybe he's going to try a dive. Looks like he just tested his MP right there. I didn't see how many heal mores, but as Shinkaido points out, a lot. 15 was the count, guys? Dang. Yeah, we have some MP, it looks like. So the attack power is still questionable, but it seems like we have a lot of HP, and Holmes just checked. We have a ton of heal mores and MP. Man, that Death Necklace, this is sounding like a classic case. We could be ready with the Death Necklace. Although Holmes showing that Hawksness not very far away from the castle, so maybe he just decided that Death Warping was faster than walking back and forth the Brecconary, but Highspirits is going to give us a Sharlock spike tile here. We can see what the mini-boss is.
It's the blue dragon.
Ooh, I don't think we've seen too many of these guys. Oh, and Highspirits looks like he's going to maybe try to finish off his 15 before he goes and tangles with the Dragon Lord. Holmes got 17 and power went up by not 0.
And here's the level for HS.
Boy, that did look... I mean, I guess we know on Mr. Holmes' side, but that did look like a lot of MP and a lot of agility. So Highspirit's going to be the first one to be declared a fool. And let's see what he can do here.
Takes a hurt more to start.
Ooh, 2 hurt mores put him in the red. Yeah, I think I agree with Zarnax here that Highspirit's probably not expecting to win. He's on only level 15, but I think this is going to give him a good gauge of what his stats look like, and you know, throw out some swag mores.
Yep, the swag hurt more. That actually helped. It helped me get 3rd place in a casual race yesterday. I would have had 4th if not throwing that. Oh wow! But you can see there, swinging for 2, swinging for 2 again.
Oh boy, on 15 we're doing 2. Oh boy. Yep, it's going to take multiple hurt more, so Highspirits is starting early.
And here comes the Swagmore strats.
Hopefully we'll be able to...
And it hit!
There, a 1 out of
61.
2. I say hopefully we get a heal more up to full HP to see what he had, but
And yes, the odds of Hurtmore hitting on the Dragon Lord is 1 out of 16, so about a 6% chance.
yeah, actually I said 2 a second ago, but he's gonna need 3 to hit, huh? Gameboy F9 saying in chat he saw 136 on the HP at some point, so given that we have 15 heal mores, a ton of HP, this is definitely looking like we might want to go find that death necklace. Ooh, the Dragon Lord only hitting for 26 there. Oh, Highspirits burning the last hurt more, does 2 more damage to the Dragon Lord before going home. But he did get some good information about his stats for sure. Curious to see if he's going to keep grinding or if he's going to go search out that death necklace.
So a little bit of interesting knowledge as Holmes now heading into the grave, possibly to search for... Oh, well... I'm curious to see what he's doing here.
He'd have to be going to the bottom of the grave looking for either a fighter's ring or death necklace, right?
Either that or he's trying to set up a gold grind to get the silver shield.
I should never be surprised with either of these runners, but Mr. Holmes knowing that he needs the death necklace at this point is pretty awesome. Like, that he's going to look for it, presumably going to look for it, is pretty nice. The kind of information he has without having any numbers is just impressive.
Well, in fairness, that's what Holmes does. He calculates, he recalculates, leaves an engineer by trade, and those numbers are certainly helping out here, having all those facts and figures in his head.
I mean, I tell you though, if you know, an hour 20 in, if I knew what I know I'd need the death necklace, I mean, I'd still be trying to figure out what to do with that Drakey way back at the castle an hour and 20 in. I mean, they're both doing amazing. Looks like the bottom of Grave has some nice enemies too. Mr. Holmes able to get a red dragon on the way. This wizard will be worth some good experience, so he's able to make a little detour to go get the death necklace, but still grabbing some experience.
There it is.
Yep, confirming that's what he's looking for. He has no interest in seeing if the last chest has the fighter's ring. We know it doesn't, but he was absolutely after that death necklace the whole way. Yeah, the chat pointing out that 4 hits on a red plus the death necklace should be good. We haven't seen Holmes' attack power yet, but I think chat was saying that Highspirits is max, given that he was doing 2 damage. His max attack would have been 108, right? So Holmes might still have a little ways to go with that Death Necklace, but we do have a ton of MP, so maybe not that much.
Well, we saw it was triple digits for Highspirits at level 16.
Slightly off topic, but statistics is math, but typically they're 2 different degrees. Mr. Holmes is, I believe, working on his doctorate in statistics. They usually are separated into 2 different degrees, just math and statistics, just a little side note. But looks like Mr. Holmes putting his statistics to good use, and he is off and running. I think he's on his way down sharp. Yeah, Lorgon, that's absolutely right. Holmes did not go to the bottom of the grave. He does not know where the fighter's ring is, and apparently doesn't care. He was on the hunt for that Death Necklace the whole way, as he gets 18 here and gets blank, 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 and that looked like a lot of hit points.
Yeah, this is looking pretty interesting. I couldn't tell, but I thought it might have been double digits on the power game there for 18.
I just glanced at it and it kind of looked like it was just 1 space, but I could have missed it too. It could have been double digits. And in chat, Mr. Spokes, yes, that's right, the fighter's ring was in the Sharlock vault, but I feel like Mr. Holmes, if he wanted it, would have gone to the bottom of the grave to check if it's there, because he doesn't know where it is yet. So I would be a little surprised if he went to the treasury and looking for it, because he didn't really seem like he cared all that much. He got that Death Necklace, and he was off and running straight to Sharlock, so we'll see, but I don't think he really has that on his mind right now.
So now heading down here to the penultimate basement. And we'll see. Is Holmes going to diverge and take a look for that fighter's ring, or is he just going to go for it? He is just going for it.
Yeah, so Neon, they're asking about the Death Necklace. Plus 10 attack power could be very helpful. Chat guessing based on his Red Dragon, how fast he's able to kill Red Dragons, that his attack power is in the 120s. The Death Necklace would bump that up to the 130s, and it would let him do an extra 4 to 5 damage on average per attack, which would let him kill the Dragon Lord in 11 or 12 heal mores maybe, and they got at least 15 of them. So the Death Necklace be really big here. Could be.
So here's he gets away though. Gonna put on the herb, and there's the Death Necklace play.
So yeah, the guesses are he's in the 130, so we should see hopefully 7 to 15-ish on a damage range, which should be plenty if he has the 15 heal mores that, well, I guess that he knows he has.
And here we go. Wow, 133 MP, and you can see hitting for 16 already. And another 16. So we're at 32.
Wow, so 16s, he's got at least 132 attack power with, I don't know, a million heal mores. This is GG's.
Wow, these rolls 16, 16, and 17.
He has 116 HP with the
And
death
17
necklace.
again. That's 66 after 4 attacks. Well, there's a 10. There's a 19.
Oh my gosh, he's in the high 130s for attack power. That was, as chat's pointing out, a giant level he got, huh? And to boot, he's got a lot of agility too. Dragon Lord hitting for 28, 32. He's going for the swag mores too.
There's another 10. So we know that's a borderline near minimum roll. Another 19. So if that's the max roll, figuring the average of 9 to 19, I mean, there's certainly been a lot of... So yeah, it could be 10 to 20. We haven't seen a 9, we haven't seen a 20 yet.
Well, it's a lot, and it's definitely enough, as this Dragon Lord's not going to be around for long. There it goes. Mr. Holmes is going to find the Ball of Light, defeat the evil Dragon Lord, and he is going to win this crazy, crazy Challenge Mode 5. Get out your GGs. Don't put numbers down, though, for Mr. Holmes, who's going to sub 130 on Challenge Level 5, no number seed. I don't even know what that's incredible.
Just shy. RL time is going to be 90 minutes and 5 seconds.
I'll give him the 5 seconds. That's incredible.
Exactly. We've been saying for the last the last hour and a half that the numbers haven't exactly mattered. Or at least the numbers haven't been visible. So yeah, 90-ish minutes.
I mean, it's just incredible. I guess I get the basic idea behind it, but the way Mr. Holmes was able to kill those red dragons just up to the point, dive, pick up that level. Sure, it was an amazing level, but he just knew everything. Like he had all the numbers in front of him. You wouldn't have known that he couldn't see the numbers the way he played that. I like Lorgon with the actual SRL time of blank, blank, blank. Regal Kane, yeah, if I guess we sort of saw them there, but I believe CD, our restreamer, said that she will put them up for us once we're done. So you will get to see the stats. Oh, there you go. Zarnak saying they're getting loaded up right now. Mr. Holmes finishes in blank place. ETAP's got that one too.
And there we go. It looks to be loaded in. So yeah, 139 attack power. That was kind of what we deduced too, and that sounds about right.
Yeah, look at that HP and MP.
You can see at level 17 for Highspirits, just 113 attack power.
Yeah, the sort of sad part is we wouldn't have been able to go, well, maybe we could have on 17. 17 would actually be really borderline. Despite all those really great agility, HP, and MP, the attack power of 113 is just not going to work. Oh, and looks like if we look on MisterHomes' side, you can see the progression as we go through. Decent start.
Hello.
Mr. Holmes, GG, and what was that?
What was what? That was a lot of fun.
You're not a number, are you? Because if you're a number, I'm afraid I can't acknowledge you.
True. I mean, I looked in the mirror and I couldn't see myself, so maybe that's the case.
So that explains how you knew how to do everything. You're a number. I get it now. I mean, I guess I just want to say, take us through your thinking, especially towards the end there. You played that pretty masterfully, almost like you could see the numbers.
Yeah, like, the good thing is, when you have to grind as much as we did, you can kind of get an idea on, like, say, okay, roughly how many attacks is it to killing a red dragon? And by the time it hit level 18, I actually thought, we might actually be able to win on level 18 if we had the death necklace. But I thought it would be close, and I didn't want to push it, so I was just like, okay, let's grind halfway to level 19, let's check the grave, because I had forgotten those two chests. And then once I found it, it's like, okay, let's go. I know we're probably close to the next level. I'm fighting some weaker enemies to try and figure out what am I defense breaking. Like, for example, Star Wyverns and Green Dragons were doing single-digit damage. So I knew I had probably close to 100 agility, if I had to guess. And then I saw the level, and I saw you have double-digit power gain, and I'm like, okay, we're fine. Let's go.
Oh, me and Furon were debating that. He has better eyes than me. I thought I only saw a single digit, but he saw a double, so he wins that.
And it looks like in the comparison here, it looks like it would have been a 16 strength gain at level 19.
Okay, so that means we were at like 74 strength at level 18?
73 as I'm looking here at the... We finally have the thing loaded up here, so we have that knowledge that Highspirits doesn't. 73 strength, currently 115 attack, and did not acquire the death necklace.
Right, so I think with the fighter's ring, at level 18 and the death necklace, you would be able to do it, because you'd be doing 6 to 12 with 125 attack power. That's 9 on average, roughly, and so that'd be about 18 attacks. And I'm sure you saw me count my heal mores out. We had 16 of them, so that's like borderline. But yeah, I definitely didn't feel comfortable going on 18. I knew I needed to get 19, but I knew it was like right on that border.
Yeah, and as we watch Highspirits finish this out, if he does get 19 on the way down, he should be okay. Not sure if he is, though.
Yeah, and Highspirits is smart. If he even does, like if he gets to the Dragon Lord at 18 and sees the damage rolls, and if he doesn't win, which he very possibly could, he'll be able to figure out what's his attack power and like how far he is away. So that's, I guess, one of the nice things of being able to see the Dragon Lord 2 stat.
Well, he did go on level 16 and fight the Dragon Lord, but was swinging at for I think 2 hit points a clip, and did get a YOLO hurt more to hit as well for 61.
That's probably more damage than you would do the entire fight.
Correct.
Yeah, I was really wary of trying to go and fight the Dragon Lord at say like one of those levels, because I mean it's hard to tell. Like when you get a double digit gain, that's a lot. When you get a single digit gain, you don't know if it's 1 or if it's 9. So I thought about like, hey, should I go down and YOLO things? But then I thought, if it doesn't work out, that's going to be so much time lost, and you're looking at like 5 to 6 minutes just to get a level. So, as boring as it was to keep fighting red dragons, I decided to do that.
As we watch Highspirits finish it out,
We lost a little bit of the feed there from Rye.
Sorry about that. I was just saying that a
There we go.
Highspirits knows he needs the death necklace because he just checked vanilla for it. So he didn't find it there, of course, because we know it's in the grave, but we'll see what he does now. If he does pick up 19, he can make this.
Yeah, with level 19, I don't think you need the death necklace because you're going to have, what, like 160 HP?
Yep, and still 129, which will do just fine.
So was the fighter's ring in the throne room, or was it in Rimmeldar? 'Cause I never found Rimmeldar or Cantling.
The fighter's ring was in Sharlock Treasury.
Okay.
It was in the $50 chest.
So that's the bottom right?
Bottom
Or is
left.
that bottom left? Oh, okay, so it works left to right, bottom to top?
Correct.
Like 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300. And then it's like the $10,000 pyramid or something like that. I don't know.
We're game show nuts around here.
Oh yeah, growing up on satellite, I would always like watch old 70s and 80s game shows on the Game Show Network, like Match Game, Old School Family Feud. That stuff's the jam.
It's funny, with all these blanks, I believe Fearon did have some match game references for us earlier, didn't you?
I most certainly did. Gene Rayburn would be proud.
Oh yes. So, how were things throughout the majority of the seed? Like, was I the first person to find keys?
It was pretty even throughout. I think you were the first one to find keys, but Highspirits was close behind into the mountain cave to get keys. That was a pretty rough mountain cave.
No kidding. Were they both? They're both the same zone with like red dragons and golems and green dragons, and not a lot of fun.
Yeah, I forget which one of you I cursed, but I said something like, oh look, they made it to the second floor. Maybe the enemy's really nicer, and immediately a red dragon popped up. And I thought, oh, whoops.
Yeah, I mean, I had some issues with the golem on my second trip, but thankfully I was able to get that key. Although I did have hurt more, so it wasn't the most massive deal in the world, but I mean, still important.
On level 18 here for Highspirits as he's taking on the Dragon Lord, hitting for only 3 to 7 with that 115 attack power.
Right, so you're looking at like 32 attacks, maybe?
On
With,
average, like
60
32,
golems?
33, yeah.
Well, he's going to get doubles with his 140 HP, right?
Not enough. Not enough.
Maybe just short.
Alrighty, well, any questions from the awesome RPG Limit Break chat?
Well, I'll throw one in here before as they're typing away. So you're 5-0 in the Swiss seed. You and Jacquemus, the only two here that have done so. You're the kind of the remainder of the best here. Looking to kind of sandwich the previous 2 years here and win the first and the fourth here.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, like, here's the thing. Anybody who picks this bracket round can just obliterate you if you have a bad race. Like, I didn't see how Game Boy's round 5 went, but like, there's so many like champions or like top tier players that are in 3 and 2. It's just absolutely crazy.
I will correct that. Not any, because I somehow made the bracket of 32. I don't think I'm obliterating anybody.
Oh, I've seen you put up some good times, buddy. Like if it's a jet seed where it's straightforward and you get good exploration RNG, it's all you need.
Yeah, I was gonna say you referenced Game Boy at 3 and 2. Can you imagine? I don't know what seed he's gonna be, but can you imagine being one of the top seeds going, "Ha! I drew the number 28 seed. This is gonna be wait, it's who now? What?"
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, if you want to win the tournament, you got to beat the best. So it doesn't matter when you face them.
Game Boy saying he's currently number 22, and that is one number 22 seed I do not want to draw ever.
Right. Rip whoever is the 11 seed.
Oh dang, I'm really close to that. I think. Oh, can I go throw my race and?
Wait, weren't you 4-0?
I pulled the high spirit strategy
He
of
did
going
it!
4-0. Wow, he got him.
Oh man, that's amazing. That is such a good
incredible.
way to close this out.
I love that we have a no numbers race and both runners are going to finish in under an hour 45. That is absolutely incredible from both you, Mr. Holmes, and High Spirits. That is some serious GGs for both of you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, like honestly, there wasn't a ton that didn't feel like a normal seed. I mean, the toughest thing is trying to figure out how much damage you're doing. And you think, oh, I've done 4 hits to a red dragon. I've been killing him in 4 to 5 attacks. Surely I'll kill him, even though I'm in the red. And then you attack and it doesn't kill him. But obviously, if you'd seen you'd done a bunch of low rolls, you would have never done that. Like, that's probably the most difficult thing, to be honest. Just trying to figure out the damage and getting an intuitive feel of it.
You had Death Necklace, right?
I did, but I also won at level 19, which had like 16 power.
Oh. I won at 18, but, swagging
Yeah.
hard.
You
But
swagged
at
it
18,
pretty
you
hard.
would have done it with Death Necklace, but I never found it.
Right, I ended up, before I hit 19, I hopped into the grave and it was in chest number 4. I figured I'd do it just because it was so close to Charlock through the Swamp Cave.
GG.
Yes, thank you. I mean, Swaggin' Lord hype.
Twice in one race.
Right.
Yeah,
I tried to
I
hurt
did
the
it in my
Dragon Lord
first
to
dive
death.
at 16. And when I realized I was doing 2 damage, I'm like, I'm just going to spend 100 magic throwing hurt mores, and one of them landed.
I mean, you might as well at that point, right? Oh, well, thankfully, we were blessed with high stats at the beginning. Well, like, not necessarily like out of this world, but we had lots of MP in the hurt spell. That was my biggest fear, having a tough time getting out of the beginning, but it turned out not to be the case.
Yeah, we had a ton of health, too. I noticed we were tanking a lot of big hits early on.
Yeah, I think I beat like a Wraith Knight at level 5, just hurting it or something like that. And they're doing like 25 damage to you, so we must have been at like 80 HP or something ridiculous.
Yeah, I forget exactly what it was. We had the stats cycling through earlier, but the HP was pretty kind. Everything was pretty kind except for that strength score, really.
Right, like I feel like even at level 12, we were only at like 40 or 50 strength, maybe 55. But it was taking a long time to kill red dragons, I'll say that.
Yeah, I grinded in Charlock forever, because I'm like, I can't beat a red dragon. I tried, it was like 6 attacks, I'm like, no.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I mean, the first Zona Charlock was pretty good, right? With Star Wyverns and Axe Knights. And
Oh, it was
Armadine.
great. Everything was hurt moreable. And Catelyn was right next door.
Yeah, I don't know. They were probably pretty equal. It's just you never. It's so hard to judge when the encounter rate is so different, right?
Oh yeah, it's hard to judge. I just I knew his strength was bad, so I stayed away from the red dragon and the stone man, and just decided to stay there. And I felt like it was working fairly well for me.
Yeah, I'll have to take a look because that's something not necessarily the best at. And when you have these seeds with long grinding, if you can find something that's like 20 experience a minute better over half an hour, that's going to add up.
Well, you got to 19 long before I got to 18, so
I mean,
obviously you were doing something right, or you found everything a lot earlier than I did.
well, I think the thing is you did that early dive and you had to like did a full Sharlock dive with a Dragon Lord fight. So I mean that probably took a lot of time. Like that's probably
I
one
leveled
level
on the
right
way
there.
down too.
Oh, okay. So you were defense breaking a ton of stuff. Like, did you have a silver shield?
Yep, I gold grinded a silver shield.
It never materialized for me, so luckily we had I think like close to 100 agility, so it was still pretty breezy.
Yeah, I was gonna jump in and say that we noticed in chat that it seemed like the experience difference was mostly due to grinding that silver shield, at least at the beginning.
Oh, okay, yeah, of course. Like that's a long-term investment, right?
Yeah, I don't think I did it that early in the seed, but it was probably like 30 minutes into the seed or something. But that's just because the opportunity. I've got my key, and I never found Rimmildar, so like my key came from a chest.
Yeah, exactly. The last chest in the mountain cave.
Yep. Although I died
Yeah.
in the mountain cave like 3 times trying to get it because red dragons were everywhere.
Yeah, I think I died once and then I decided not to go back. And then I kind of threw, like I'd found coal and got the armor and I'd managed to work my way back there. And the second time I was eventually able to get through after miraculously running from red dragons. But I think we got our keys pretty close to each other. At least that's what I was led to believe.
Yeah, I believe you guys were pretty close throughout the entire, like, mid-game. And that's a good point. I don't think either one of you ever found Remolder. We never saw that town. We didn't need to, but we never saw it.
Yeah, I was kind of paranoid that it might have the death necklace or something, but thankfully it didn't.
Yeah, it had to be on the south or southeast part of the second continent because that's like the only place I didn't search.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. We'll never know. So I take it there were no comments from the peanut gallery?
Well, there were several, but we did our best. We had some people helping us with the numbers or the lack of numbers for sure. I think the question that kept popping up that we were interested in, you guys both with experience in challenge level 5, we didn't see it in this seed. But what do you do if you need coordinates, and specifically the Erdrick's armor? Because we know you guys agreed to no token on the overworld. That just sounds miserable. What do you do if the armor is there?
Grind.
You keep grinding. Yeah, it's probably like you probably need like level 24 or something like that. I mean, it depends. It's randomizer, but I wonder what level you could beat vanilla with Erdrick's sword and a silver shield, but no armor. That would be an interesting thought.
Yeah, one of the things that cost me a couple minutes is I did the silver shield and flame sword grind at the same time, like the gold grind for it. But like the moment I did the grind, I bought the flame sword, went to Garringham, and bam, there was Erdrick's sword. So that was 10 or so, or about 15 or so chest opens that cost me time also. Because I was counting chest opens, like I was estimating how many times I'd open a chest to figure out how much gold I would need for them. And I did take a moment to check the coordinates too.
Right. What directions were there?
East and south, I believe.
Okay.
And none of them
Actually,
were
that's not so bad, is it? Is it? Yeah, it probably is.
Yeah, considering you had to go west before you could go east, south and east.
I'm just trying to think. Like, was the second continent south of the first one, or is it north of it?
No clue.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
Guessing it was south because I think we were at the north.
Yeah, if
when
it
you went
was,
up
then that would be the big part of the map, or at least one of the big parts.
But GG, thanks for the race, dude. For the
Absolutely.
challenge level 5.
Oh man, if we make it to the finals, let's do it again.
Only if it's game 3.
Got it. Deal. 100% a deal.
Game blank, people, please.
Well, we could have done challenge level 10 race as game 3.
Oh
I
dear
mean, he
Christ!
Oh,
doesn't
gosh,
speed run
no.
blind, so he knows the game.
Oh man, I think I would have an aneurysm if I did that. Yeah, I've said everything I need to say. It was an absolute wonderful time, and I really want to commend you guys on deciding not to show the stats for the chat. That seemed like it worked out really, really well. So that's super cool. I'm glad we could offer something a little different today.
Well, it gave the commentators, the viewers, everybody a little bit more of an introspection into what you were going through throughout the race, because we experienced it as well. All we were able to see is what items you had, what spells you had, but we didn't know the numbers either.
Yeah,
Right.
once again, thanks to our restreamer CD. She had to go through a couple of things at the beginning and resets and whatever else to make that happen. So thank you very much, because that was really great. And yeah, it was really led to some interesting discussions between me and Ferran and chat, kind of through what stats you guys are looking at, what we learned, what we still needed to figure out. So yeah, GG's to you guys, and thank you so much for showcasing this, because this was a really, really fun race.
Awesome. Couldn't be more pleased. That's phenomenal. Thanks for going with it, Highspirits.
Oh yeah, we know we were already in the bracket, so might as well had some fun with it. We were even we were like, if we face each other, we're doing something dumb.
Oh man, best of luck in the elimination rounds.
You too. And
Cheers.
thanks everyone for commentating and tracking and restreaming. Well, kind of tracking. You got to see half of it.
Likewise. Take care.
Well, speaking of elimination rounds, as was mentioned a bit ago, we actually have a winning you're in, losing you're out scenario coming up in about an hour and a half from now. That's going to be over on Randomania, I believe. It's going to be Archfield Monk taking on our own tracker, Zarnax 42. So yeah, both are 2-2. A win gets them into the bracket stage. A loss eliminates them. So that's some very high stakes coming up over on Randomania in about 90 minutes from now.
So we get a little break before we head off to that. And any last words here, Ferran? Certainly no last numbers.
Oh, certainly not. Well, just make sure to show some love to our runners here. If you give them a follow if you haven't already, MisterHomes and Highspirits. Thanks so much to the people behind the scenes, CD Improv, our restreamer, Zarnax42, our tracker, and us commentator folk as well. Rye Guy, numbers omitted for the purpose of this, and myself, I'm FearonBurgundy.
Rye Guy Blank, thank you very much. Thank you, Ferran. So I believe with that, we are going to say goodnight. I think we're heading over to Speed Gaming 3, finishing up with their Final Fantasy Randomizer Weekly. So have a good night, everyone. Thanks.
And may your moves be excellent and your seeds stay classy. We'll take you on over to Speed Gaming 3. Good night, everyone.